Okay,
We all set? Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020, 7 o'clock for our regular scheduled board meeting. I'd like to start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. So could we please rise for the pledge?
pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag of the United
States
States
of
of
America, and to
and
the
to the
republic
for
for
which
which it stands,
one nation,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and
liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
for all. Please, let's have a moment of silence for veterans. However, we could probably sit for that. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Christine Adamczak,
Here.
Councilmember Linda Hammer,
Here.
Councilmember Gerald Kaminsky,
Present.
Councilmember Brian Noah,
Present.
Councilmember Brian Pilarski,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Rusinia,
He's running a few minutes late.
and Supervisor Diane Menchkowski.
Here. Okay, we have 6 present. Councilmember Rusiniak's on his way. First thing is our public hearing. Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you.
We had a call for a public hearing that was made at the August 25th Town Board meeting, Resolution 2020-305. It was sponsored by Councilmember Pilarski and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski for the rezoning of 0 Ferris Ave from R Residence District to C Retail Business District for development of an ice cream shop. All persons wishing to provide oral or written comments were to register with the town clerk by noon on September 18th. No one requested to speak, but I have received several letters from constituents asking for their concerns and comments to be heard.
Okay, are you going to read those first? Or maybe we
Well,
should.
I know that Corey is on the line. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
want
so
him
let's
to
give
talk
Corey,
about it?
right, why don't you present the project, Corey? And then we'll let the clerk read the comments and I'll open it up to the council members also.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Madam Supervisor, members of the board. Corey Auerbach from the law firm of Barclay Damon on behalf of the petitioner. So we are proposing or requesting a rezoning of 2377 William Street, the corner of William and Aris. 0 Aris Avenue is the subject parcel that is subject to the rezoning. It is directly south of 2377 William Street, which will be part of the future development site for a proposed ice cream shop. We did present this to the town board at your work session meeting. We've also received comments, some very insightful comments from the EAC. And on September the 10th, we appeared before the planning board and got some terrific comments from the planning board who recommended approval of the rezoning. So we're here only for the rezoning at this time of 0 Aris. We will, if this board sees fit to do so, proceed with a site plan thereafter. So if I might share my screen, if that's okay. I think I might need a permission.
Go ahead, Corey.
Great. So I want to tell you about some changes that we made to the site plan based upon some excellent comments that we received from the EAC and from the planning board. So the parcel that is subject to the rezoning, 0 Aris, is the rear parcel to orient you. William Street's to the north, Aris is to the east. The existing single family vacant residential structure is at the corner, which we are proposing.
Can I just mention that I can't see the site plan? Can everybody else?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try again.
Well, yeah, all right.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Do you see it now?
It does say you started screen sharing, but maybe it's just taking a couple minutes. This might be slow.
It shows that it's being shared. You're not seeing the screen?
No.
I'm not, is
No.
everybody,
No. Nope.
I don't know if it's our Wi-Fi might be slower at our end.
No, it should,
It said he started screen, see, it says Corey Albach has started screen sharing, but we don't see anything
Okay.
else.
Can you give the sharing to Ari Goldberg, who is also on the line from my office? I will send him a copy of it and see if he can put it up.
okay, I shared with Ari.
Great. So I'll tell you a little bit about the changes, and hopefully Ari can bring them up. I apologize for the technical issues. So one of the issues that was raised by the neighborhood, by the neighbors, comments that we received, one of them had to do with the location of the dumpster, which was previously in the southwest corner of the site. And there were some concerns about its proximity to the adjoining owner along Eris. We have since relocated the, there
Okay,
you
that
go.
worked. Yep, that's good.
So Ari, if you want to just zoom in a little bit on that. So we relocated the dumpster from the southwest corner of the site over to along Eris in the area that's being shown. And we also, there were some current concerns that were raised by some of the neighbors and also addressed at the planning board and at the EAC. We initially had an exit onto Eris at the east side. We have since closed that off so that there will no longer be an exit out to Eris. There was some concern from the community that that could cause some traffic issues. So we took that into consideration and we closed that exit. And we're proposing landscaping now along the east side. We also added a 6-foot solid board-on-board fence along the entire southern boundary of the site to add additional screening to buffer the proposed use from the neighborhood on recommendation from the planning board, including some landscaping in the green space area. That also allowed us to utilize the areas on all sides of the proposed parking area on the rezone parcel for snow storage, which was another comment that we received. Additionally, we added fencing around the playground area, which is directly behind the proposed ice cream shop. It was suggested by both the planning board and the EAC that if that was an area where people were going to be, that it should be secured and protected from the drive aisle. So we really listened to what we heard and have tried to be responsive to those, redesigning the site a bit to relocate the dumpster, close the Eris entrance, and include that additional screening, which is a 6-foot board-on-board fence along the southern property boundary. The proposed dumpster will, of course, be in an enclosure, will be fully enclosed, and we're proposing screening around the dumpster area as well to reduce its impact. So the request is to rezone the 0 Eris parcel, which will be utilized for parking. We will, of course, proceed back to the planning board with this plan for any additional comments that they have. We'll also be visiting the Zoning Board of Appeals for some setback variances, but are asking for a determination of significance from the town board and a rezoning of this parcel to accommodate the proposed development. And happy to answer any questions you might have.
That's Diane Benchkowski here, Corey. Looks like a great plan. So you have that driveway coming in from William Street. That'll be the only way they can get in, correct?
Correct.
Right,
So that will be shared access with the J&M convenience store.
Mhm.
The 3 parcels would propose to be combined as part of this plan. I went and visited the site, and the convenience store is actually quite busy. They do a very robust business there, and so sharing the parking alongside that business will be a benefit to both properties, because even in times when there's not a lot of activity at the ice cream shop, it will allow additional parking for the convenience store. So they will share that access, which will be 24 feet wide, which allows for 2-way traffic. We don't anticipate conflicts. You know, we will have to work with our garbage collection because of the place where we've relocated the dumpster for them to be able to come in and pick up the dumpster and maneuver their way back out. So that was one of the engineering challenges we had, but we really listened to the neighbors and wanted to move that dumpster away from the residential property to the south.
Mhm.
So we tried to find a location to do that, but plenty of width there with 24 feet, which allows for two-way access off William.
Great. Yeah, it looks like a great proposal. It reminds me of a village type feel where the parking's in the back of the establishment rather than in the front. So I like that idea and make it.
Yeah,
well,
and we're hoping that it's going to be a community amenity, and
Yeah.
we're going to continue to interface with the community on the plan as we continue to move forward with the other boards. But we've been listening, and we've changed the plan in response to those concerns, and we'll continue to listen.
And thank you for listening to the neighbors because they're very important to us too. So I know the rest of the board probably agrees with me that we thank you and appreciate that. Anybody else?
Good.
Questions, comments, any board members? Okay, Madam Clerk, do you want to read the residents that's wrote in?
I sure will. So first resident, I'll take them in the order that I received them. First resident is Carol Groman. She lives at 280 Aris Avenue. She came in and reviewed the plans at Town Hall, and her concerns are the following. The dumpster is right by my fence. This should not be so close to a residence, particularly my backyard. The owner has not maintained the dumpster. He currently has. It has not been enclosed for more than a year. We have rats in our neighborhood. We don't need more garbage to attract them. If need be, put the dumpster directly behind convenience store and ensure it is fully enclosed and maintained. I have known the owner for many years, and he seems to be a good man. When I talked to him, I addressed the tree which has damaged my chain link fence. It grew into my fence and pushed it out. He said he is going to cut the tree down and replace my fence with a high privacy fence. This has not been done, and a year has passed. He does not maintain his fence by the sidewalk. It is like a jungle, things growing over the fence. This obstructs my view of my sidewalk and when I back out of my driveway. He's cut the vegetation somewhat, but it is not a pretty sight. Shrubs on the corner of William Street, the shrubs closest to William Street obstructs one's view of pulling out onto William Street. The shrubs are too high, and I would like a 6-foot privacy fence installed by him.
Oh, there we
Continuing
go.
halfway up my driveway and then shorter towards the sidewalk. That part would be lower, so anybody backing out of her driveway would have the ability to back out and be able to see what's coming. Making an exit of his parking lot on Aris is not a good idea. Too much traffic going on a residential street. Many families on the street have small children. She's concerned about the parking in the back, fumes, noise, and the headlights from the cars. Is this ice cream parlor going to be open all year long? Would it then be plowed, and where would the snow be deposited? I hope not near my property. All the snow from William Street in his driveway plus the lot. I've been living here since 1977, and I can tell you, as the first driveway coming from William Street, a lot of snow is plowed in. I have a snow pile sometimes 6 feet plus next to the side of my garbage. When that snow melts, it has to go somewhere. His plan calls for a buffer next to the fence. First good idea I noticed, but pine trees are not the right choice. Who's going to clean up all the pine cones? They have shallow roots. Maybe flowering shrubs that are butterfly friendly would be a better choice. The house proposed for the ice cream parlor has been poorly maintained. I don't see any plans for picnic tables. Where are they to be located? Where are the garbage cans located? Or is the back parking lot going to have lights? Once again, problem with rats, traffic, all of the above. Finally, the owner should have looked at purchasing Hot Dog Heaven, corner of William and Harlem, close to convenience store. It has all the needs to have an ice cream parlor and food. Has a big parking lot with entrances on major streets. Would have enough seating, grills, and counter to put your ice cream apparatus in small areas, which he could enlarge as a year-round amusement for children. Also has a drive-through for a quick cone. This might have been cheaper in the long run. Thank you very much for reading my opinions and taking it under advisement. I'm a senior and don't have the ability to do a visual meeting. Our next constituent is Karen. She lives at 250 Harris Avenue. And she has the following comments for the rezoning. It appears from the blueprints that the entrance and exit driveway will be off of Harris Ave. This will create more traffic on a street that is already busy with traffic. It will also be hard for the resident at 280 Harris to enter her driveway because of the increase in car and pedestrian traffic. There needs to be a better fence, not chain link, and a buffer put up alongside 280 and 283 Chrisfield in order to reduce the noise and fumes from the vehicles. Only pine trees there with the chain link fence will not do the trick. The dumpster needs to be moved so it's not right next to 280 Harris and 283 Chrisfield properties. It should be fenced. The current dumpster at the convenience store is not fenced, and we have had mice and rats in the area. So much for following the town codes. Also, the blueprints do not indicate where the garbage cans will be placed, hopefully not by the fence by 280 Harris. The existing house needs to be torn down and rebuilt if rezoning is approved. The house on the outside is in bad shape, and apparently there is water and mold on the inside of the house. The bushes in the front and along the fence need to be trimmed or taken out. Bushes were finally trimmed somewhat recently, but for months it was like walking through a jungle on the sidewalk by the property. More needs to be done. My other concerns is that the parking lot and surrounding areas would not be kept clean. I see how the dumpster is kept as well as the house and the area around it. Not only would it be unsightly, but it would also attract more rodents. Also, what about the lighting in the parking lot? Will it be shining in other residents' homes? Thank you for listening to my comments. Then we have Janine Keidel. She is from 283 Harris Ave, and she wanted to voice her opinion. My property is next to 0 Harris Avenue. I have concerns regarding the placement of the dumpster next to my property. I would like the dumpster to be behind the convenience store, away from my property, fully enclosed and maintained. It has not been enclosed in over a year. We have a rat problem, and I don't need more rats visiting my backyard. I would like a 6-foot privacy fence maintained by the owner, starting from the back corner of my lot and abut with the convenience store. I don't want anyone to be able to come onto my property. The good side of the fence should be facing my yard. Cars entering at night could shine their headlights right into my family room as I am watching TV, and as a senior, television is my nightly entertainment. I do not want pine trees as a buffer. However, I do need a buffer against fumes and noise, so shrubs properly maintained would be acceptable. If necessary to snowplow, I do not want the snow piled by the fence. Every spring, she has 2 ducks that come to roost at the corner where they want to put the dumpster. She'll miss them, but I do not want to replace them with more rats. We have an owner from 249 Harris Ave who sent in a letter, and it's extremely important to him that you hear his thoughts. If the rezoning happens and plans to go through as proposed, we will have cars going in and out of driveways. The ingress and egress is right behind my house and my wife's house at 251 Harris Ave. There will be added traffic to the already many cars flying down the street like they are at Daytona. God forbid they are backing out of the driveway at the same time someone races out of the parking lot. The Williams Street and Harris Ave corner is already busy with convenience and the barber and beauty shop there. Hopefully no children will be in the way if someone rushes out of the parking lot. It would be a hazard with increased traffic and an accident waiting to happen, not to mention the delivery trucks, dumpster, and rats we already deal with. I absolutely do not like the plan of having parking lot lights as well as headlights leaving the lot shining directly into my house. To close, I would like to say that I firmly oppose the proposed rezoning. I believe there are far too many safety issues to make the ingress and egress on Harris Ave. We pay our taxes and do not deserve these changes on our streets. Next is Marlene from 249 Harris Ave. She lives at 249, but she has owned the home at 251 for 59 years. The neighborhood has changed dramatically over this time. I remember ice skating in back of the house on Harris and William Street. Also a Christmas tree lot where the convenience store now stands. I do not oppose the changes life brings, only when it affects the well-being of my family and neighbors. I strongly disapprove of the ingress-egress between 251 and 249 Harris Ave. It would be like an accident waiting to happen. A black lot lined with trees could encourage teens to cause trouble, headlights shining in my window, safety for neighborhood kids and my grandchildren walking and bike riding. These are just a few of my safety concerns. I cannot forget when a woman from the neighborhood was walking on William Street in the middle of winter and I saw her go flying through the air. She was hit by a car barreling out of convenience. I waited with her until the ambulance came while she lay bleeding on the street. I do not want any accident like this to ever happen to anyone. It makes me very upset that I pay my taxes to live on a residential neighborhood street and do not want more commercial traffic than we already get from nearby William Street businesses. I do not oppose an ice cream shop, just the ingress, egress right across from my house. And the last letter that I received is 251 Ayers Avenue. Michael. This letter is to express that I am against the project after I reviewed the plans for the property development. I've been a resident of my current address all my life. I've lived here for 43 years. I've seen many changes to this area and I want to state that I am all for the development of this area. However, I have major concerns with the plans that have been submitted for this site. My major concern is the only entrance and exit to the property being on Ayers Ave. For 43 years, the entrance to the store has always been on William Street and I see no reason to change it. Moving this entrance to Ayers Ave would simply add an increase to traffic to the street and is not needed or welcome. Living near the corner of Ayers Ave and William Street has always been a safety concern for the residents of the street. Many motorists use my street as a cut through the dungeons and simply race down the street from William Street as if this was a drag strip. It also has seen a resurgence of younger families with an increase in children. I've seen patrons of the store carelessly leave the parking lot on numerous occasions. My fear is that an unsuspecting resident or child may be struck by one of these drivers if this entrance exit is moved to Ayers Ave. Also among the issues I have with this entrance change is that of delivery traffic. On some days there are 2 or 3 trucks lined up for delivery, not to mention beer trucks, pop trucks, tractor trailers, and other delivery vehicles. The street is zoned residential with a 5-ton weight limit. I cannot imagine that the old infrastructure of the street will hold up to the demand of having commercial vehicles drive on it daily. Quite possibly my biggest concern and issue with this zoning is the simple fact of privacy for my residents as well as my neighbors. This entrance looks directly into my residence. Not only do I have the added issue of added traffic from the exit and entrance of the ice cream shop and store, but I will have a constant and steady stream of headlights shining into my residence. I deserve the right to be able to have my front curtains open to receive daylight and not feel the need to have them closed daily in order to block headlights coming through the window. I know what you may be thinking. I am referring headlights in daytime, but at night I shouldn't have to keep my front door closed so I can peacefully watch TV or simply sit in comfort in my residence. In closing, I would like this to be seen as my formal opposition to this rezoning. I believe there are multiple safety concerns and nuisances that longstanding residents of this area do not deserve. While as a whole, I am not opposed to developing the property, I just feel that the adding of the parking lot and entrances on Ayers Ave will present safety hazards, privacy issues, and added oversized traffic that these taxpaying residents do not deserve. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. I think that we're not voting on this tonight. So Corey, it sounds like you've addressed a lot of these issues already. So if you can continue to take a look at them. And
Yeah, absolutely, Madam Supervisor. And what's up now is the old plan, just for reference, where you can see where the garbage dumpster location was. There was no fencing proposed. There was only those pine trees that were proposed. And of course, we had the Ayers entrance.
Yes.
Ari, if you flip back over to the other plan, you know, the issues, and all valid issues by the neighbors. And we are in receipt of those comments. None of them have seen this new plan that you're seeing now, which was revised directly in response to the comments that you heard. Concerns about noises, fumes, and glare, asking for a 6-foot fence. We've installed a 6-foot fence. Ari, if you want to flip to the other plan, we've installed a 6-foot fence along the entire southern boundary of the parcel, all the way from Crestfield, all the way over to Ayers. Lots of concerns about traffic on Ayers. We've closed the entrance on Ayers. concerns about glare from vehicles. There will no longer be exit onto Aris, so there'll be no reason for any cars to be shining on those other properties. Plus, we'll have the 6-foot fence there. They didn't like the pine trees. We took out the pine trees, we replaced them with locust trees, so there won't be issues about that. We're proposing only security level site lighting. Any lighting will be dark sky compliant. We will have shields. They will not be directed into any of the owners' properties. And of course, these are site plan issues more than zoning issues.
Mhm.
A lot of what you heard was, we're not opposed to the use, but we're opposed to certain issues regarding the site plan. And we've responded with this plan. We'll continue to interface with the residents. We'll continue to respond. And we appreciate the opportunity to present these changes to you in response to the neighbor comments.
Thank you, Corey. It's wonderful that you've listened to them. When I heard these complaints, it made me realize you already addressed a lot of them. There might be a few outstanding ones, but if you can continue to work until the next meeting, that would be great.
Terrific.
Anybody else? Any other council members?
Just want to circle back on something that I believe Councilmember Hammer brought up a couple weeks back relative to, it might have even been this project, but lighting. What type of lighting there's going to be in the parking lot, how bright it's going to be, how it's going to be faced, if Corey can speak to that.
Yeah, so you'll note that there's no lighting standards on this plan. There will be security level lighting, which is really just there to make sure that people in the parking lot are safe. Any lighting will be dark sky compatible, will be shielded so that it is directed directly downward and not into any of the neighboring properties. If this board sees fit to allow us to move forward with the project by issuing the rezoning, we will provide additional details specific to the concerns regarding lighting in the proposed site plan. But rest assured, any lighting will be directed down and will not cause glare off the property boundary.
Anybody else? Do we know, did Councilmember Rusniak join us? I see one phone number. I don't recognize it, so I wasn't sure if that was him. Okay. Okay, then we'll move on. Thank you, Corey, for your presentation to the
Thank you
board,
very much.
and we'll see you next time. Madam Clerk, there's one phone number on the call.
I
Where
do see that.
is that Rick's?
Whoever is ending in 3536, can you please let us know?
I think it's Rick Rusniak.
Yeah, I don't have that number in my phone, so that's why I'm wondering if somebody could confirm, please. Whoever
Alright.
has that phone number. Can you
I don't have
unmute?
it either.
Can you, all right, so is
Nope,
that?
can you hear me now?
Oh, okay,
Hello?
okay,
Yes,
it is,
Can-
yeah,
Yeah, you can hear me now?
yes.
yes.
Yeah, for some reason, it just asked me to unmute myself at *6. All of a sudden, it just came up.
All right,
Okay.
I don't know what's,
we have you
okay.
marked now.
All right, we just wanted to make sure, and I think he got on about what, 7:15 or 7:10?
7:12.
7:12, okay, we'll put you down.
Okay.
All right, thank you, council member. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
we will move on, we'll close the public hearing and move on to the consent agenda announcement. Tonight, we have a consent agenda as part of this meeting. If any council member wishes to remove a consent agenda item for discussion, please tell me now, and I will remove the item from the consent agenda, and it will be added as a separate resolution item.
Supervisor, I would
Yes.
like to remove resolution number 4 for more.
Okay, that's 2020-337. Madam Clerk, do you have that? And we'll vote on that
I'm looking
separately.
up resolution 4. Yep,
2020-337 regarding the hybrid. We will remove that for you, council member. Thank you for mentioning that.
And I just want to confirm items 5 through 7 have been removed.
That's my understanding, correct?
Yes, we did that at the work session. So really when you approve the meeting agenda, those 3 items would be under resolution.
Okay, and the one that Councilmember Hammer just asked to have removed, so there should be 4 separate. Will be voted on
Correct.
separate. Correct, okay. So I need a motion and a second to approve the meeting agenda with removing the 4 items and the consent agenda. Yes, Jared, Councilmember Kaminsky,
Yes.
you want to make the motion?
Yes.
Okay, and a second, I need Councilmember Pilarski. All in favor of accepting the agenda?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, Madam Clerk, I'll leave it up to you now.
So I have a motion by Supervisor Benchkowski and a second by Councilmember Adamczak to approve all items on the consent agenda, including the meeting minutes of September 8th and resolution items 2020-334 through 2020-351, recognizing that 2020-337, 338, 339, and 340 were removed and added under resolution items. I need a roll call vote to approve the consent agenda. Councilmember Adamczak,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaminsky,
Yes.
Councilmember Noah,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Lushiniak,
Yes.
and Supervisor Benchkowski.
Yes,
Okay. Let me grab that one resolution.
so the consent agenda passed, correct?
Correct. Yep. So we are moving on to resolution items. We are going to start with resolution 2020-337, sponsored by Councilmember Lushiniak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. A notice to bidder was published for the receipt of bids to lease up to 10 hybrid plug-in compact sedans, bid 2020-15 as part of the Clean Energy Grant, which bids were duly received and open on May 6, 2020. The contract to lease 8 2020 hybrid plug-in compact sedans, Toyota Prius Prime LE, be awarded to Holton Leasing Company, 909 Fairport Road, East Rochester, New York, for the bid price of $74,592. 8 vehicles at $9,324 each for a 3-year lease term. Being said that they were the lowest bid, meeting the requirements in contract documents. Supervisor, on behalf of the town board, being hereby is authorized and directed to execute contract with said firm and any other documents necessary to effectuate completion of this project.
Okay, anybody have any question on that, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, I think we might have to do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Adamczak,
You're muted.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
No.
Councilmember Kaminsky,
Yes.
Councilmember Noah,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Lushiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski.
Yes.
Okay, we will move on to resolution 2023-38. It was sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. Applications and associated materials were submitted by the Daniele Family Companies by Barclay Damon LLP as agent attorney to the town of Cheektowaga Town Board for site plan review and approval in connection with the development of approximately 2-acre site at 3765 Union Road. Based upon a thorough review and examination of the known facts relating to the project, the town board finds that the project will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment. The attached negative declaration is issued and adopted for the reasons stated in the attached negative declaration.
Anybody on the question? Okay, can we get a roll call vote on that?
Councilmember Adamczak,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaminsky,
Abstain?
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Usiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benkowski,
Yes.
okay? Resolution 2020-340,
What do we have? Did we have
we have 6,
6 yes, 1 abstention? Okay,
correct.
okay.
There we go, number 2. Yeah, it's gonna go through.
Resolution 2020-340 is sponsored by Councilmember Nowak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. The Denali Family Company is a Barclay Damon LL attorney agent petition for rezoning from C Retail Business District to MS Motor Service District for property owned by it and located at 3765 Union Road. The rezoning from C Retail Business District to MS Motor Service District of the property is hereby approved, subject to conditions. Local law number 1 of the year 2020 to rezone 3765 Union Road shall be effective upon filing with the Secretary of State.
Okay, anyone on the question? Okay, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Adamsack,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
yes,
Councilmember Kaminsky,
No?
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski,
Yes. So we have 6 yes and 1 no?
correct.
Okay. Resolution passed.
And resolution 2020-339, sponsored by Councilmember Nowak, seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. The town board has jurisdiction to issue decisions on requests for site plan approval for a proposed project. Town board has thoroughly reviewed the development review application and supporting documentation, considered the recommendation of the planning board, and evaluated the standards for review of site plan. The town board has determined that the granting of site plan approval for the project is justified and approves the site plan for the project subject to conditions.
Okay, anybody on the question? Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Adamsack,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
yes,
Councilmember Kaminsky,
Abstain?
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski.
Yes. I need to ask the town attorney. Hold on. Attorney Dujak?
Yes,
Okay, so an abstention, you don't need a reason, or do you?
no, it's just not counted as a vote,
Okay,
either way, negative or
it-
positive.
it's a net, all right, so you need, yeah, okay. Okay, so it looks like we had 6 yes and 1 abstention. Most,
Correct.
resolution carried, okay.
So we have 2 items under suspension of rules.
Mhm.
Can I have a motion to accept both waiver items and place them on the agenda as resolution item 2020-352 and 353?
to make a motion,
Councilmember Hammer, and then I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor of the suspension of rules?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carried for the waiver item, so go ahead.
So resolution 2020-352, sponsored by Supervisor Benchkowski and seconded by Councilmember Adamsack, that Julie Simek of Cheektowaga being hereby is hired to the position of Secretary to the Supervisor in the Office of the Town Supervisor at the annual salary of $40,000 effective September 28th, 2020.
Anybody on the question? All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried.
And Resolution 2023-53 is sponsored by Supervisor Benchkowski and seconded by Councilmember Adamzak. Funding is periodically available from miscellaneous public and private grant sources to assist the town with various projects. The town board wishes to continue to retain a grant consultant firm for the 2020-2021 calendar year. Be and hereby is authorized, directed to execute an agreement upon attorney approval with Connie D. Minor, MPA, grant consultant.
Anybody on the question?
On the question, just want to confirm that the town board will be able to see this agreement before it's signed.
Yes,
Fine.
we'll have Attorney Duziak send it out to you. How's that?
All right, thank you.
Mhm. I'll have to make a note of that too. But Attorney Duziak, can you make a note too that when you get it, to send it to the council members?
Yep, got it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have departmental
and I-
communications.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Supervisor.
Well, I just wanted to mention the passing of our current, well, we had Sue Barnes from Grant Makers passed away this year. So we were lucky enough to find a new grant writer. So my condolences to Sue Barnes' family. It's just been a great loss for the town. Okay, I'm done.
We have departmental communications, the supervisor statement of funds from April 30th, 2020, and Town of Cheektowaga 2021 tentative benefit basis budget was submitted. Under general communications, we have 1 summons and complaint and 2 notices of claim.
Okay, I have no comments. Any board members?
Yes, Rick here. We lost another one yesterday, Paul Delano,
Oh,
worked the courts,
yes. Oh dear.
so, yep.
I'm so
So
sorry to
our
hear that.
our condolences to his family.
Mhm. Thank you for letting us know, Rick. And
Okay.
Anybody else?
I just,
Okay.
Diana, I'd like to explain why I pulled resolution 4.
Sure. Mhm.
About the purchase of the 8 Toyota, about the lease of the 8 Toyota vehicles. I just thought it would be better at this time, the way things are in our country. I think we needed to support our union brothers and sisters and go with an American-made vehicle at this time. It's all said and done, but that was my opinion, and I had to go that way.
And I understand you have to vote with your conscience, and I appreciate
Yeah.
your explanation and agree with
Okay.
it too, but it's done. So thank you,
Yep.
Councilmember Hammer. Anybody else,
Yep.
Rick?
Yeah, I agree with you, Linda, but we just couldn't get anybody to give us a car American made to do it.
I get
So
it.
Not out
but-
That's the reason, yeah, it's the reason we did it, so.
I know, I understand your reasoning. But
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, all right, I understand.
Yeah.
I commend you for that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rick. Anybody else?
Okay, guys.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn in memory of Paul Delano, former employee at the courts. Could I get a second?
I second it.
Okay, Rick, seconded by Councilmember Rushniak. All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care and be safe.